Through some of the dailies, we'll start with Nigerian Tribune. Today, Plateau killings is the lead one here. North Central governors plan security cooperation. NBA wants Tinubu to invest in security. They've got a host of writers here today. Nigeria's security architecture needs urgent review, Mark says. JNI warns stakeholders on warning signals. Close IDP camps, restore indigents to their ancestral homes, Southern Middle Belt leaders tell president. So that is huge here, I tell you guys. And so you want to find out who's Mark? What do they mean by Mark? So it's all there for you. That's the big lead right here. But as though we don't have enough challenges, you also get to see above this lead story, Nigeria may lose more than 50% skilled healthcare workforce by 2025. We're talking about next year, guys. Next year. That's ascribed to the NMA. So, alarm bells ringing here again. That's Tribune today.
Alarm bells ringing everywhere about everything. But let's look at the Vanguard and what they lead with. The lead with this story, Tinubu's New Year address. No specific strategies to tackle challenges. Who's speaking? LCCI, that's the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That's what they say. No specific strategies. And see the writers. Calls for private sector investment in power transmission. Economy to remain bleak in next 6 months. NECA says fuel subsidy removal, forex harmonization, worsened socioeconomic woes. Why 2024 will be challenging for manufacturing sector, coming from the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. MAN. Page 8 will give you more details on that. Above the nameplate, you have that story. Clark Adebanjo Iwayanwu Pogu. Others write Tinubu. Killings in Middle Belt threatening Nigeria's existence. Whoa. Serious. It's a serious one there. But I'm sure the president's listening. I mean, coming from his statements and his stance, looks like he's ready to deal with anything that moves contrary to the law. But let's come down real quick. At the bottom strip, you have 11 sad story, 11 dead, 1 abducted as Boko Haram terrorists invade Chibok communities again. Not good. We do have some good news we'll tell you about later on in the course of the program. FG suspends accreditation of degrees certificates from Benin Republic, Togo.
So wait, somebody asked me, so if I have one from there, genuine, what do I do?
Well, if you had one from there before now, it should have been authenticated. But if you're just going to get it maybe in the last 6 months to 1 year, you probably have to...
Oh, dear.
Well, let's leave it there for the Vanguard newspaper.
That's a tall order right there, guys. Very, very tall order. You're going to have to, as we say on the street, you go explain tire. Let's switch to Daily Trust newspaper, and I find the lead of the story very, very interesting this morning. North Central governors to FG identify root cause of Plateau killings for lasting peace. That's the lead of the Plateau State, the Daily Trust newspaper today. Look at the writers. NBA decries intelligence failure, asks Tinubu to prioritize security. Pandef Afenifere Ohaneze, MBF seek end to killings in North. 19 vigilantes, several bandits killed in Kaduna, 12 gunned down as Boko Haram attacks Chibok. Oh God. Again? Chibok. All right. Well, that story is definitely something of concern because one would have expected that by now that community will be so shielded, having attracted the attention of the entire world to what we are and who we are. At the bottom of the page, 37 billion naira fraud. Ex-Minister Sadiya faces EFCC today. Suspended NSIPA boss's loyalists finger Minister Edu's associates kick. EFCC mum on feud after raid. That'll be interesting. 37 billion naira is no mean cash. That's the lead story. That's another of the stories you'll find on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And let's switch to the Nigerian Observer. And what do we have on the front page of the Nigerian Observer? FG suspends evaluation accreditation of degree certificates from Benin and Togo. Well, that story is definitely not going away. Our colleagues on the Morning Brief discussed with one of our compatriots who conducted a research on that one. If you missed it, you may want to scroll back a little. But that's it right there. And right under that story, Plateau killings, state of emergency on security, not out of place. That's according to David Mark. Find the story on page 2 of the paper this morning. 2024 will promote economic expansion, drive investments in tech. That's ascribed to Obaseki. The details of that you'll find on the front page. It continues on the inside pages. And just this last one, the Nigerian Observer also says, right beside the nameplate, Oshoba says, no alternative to borrowing as past government left empty treasury. But what we hear from the CBN governor is that there's going to be a balance of IGR and a bit of borrowing. Where is this coming from? Anyone who reads this will say maybe the federal government is flying some kite indirectly. But you may want to get more details of that on page 2 of the Nigerian Observer this morning. That's the Nigerian Observer today.
The Guardian newspaper is the next one, and they lead with this one, education. Despite 20 million out of school children, 29 states fail to access 68 billion naira universal basic education fund. So the funds are there, but the states are not accessing it. Why? Probably inability to pay their counterpart funding. Well, we'll get more details when you go into the Vanguard, the Guardian newspaper, and you see the infographics. They're quite interesting. But then if you come down, that blue box beside that infographics, you have NIDCOM warns MDAs, embassies of fake diaspora groups. So how do we identify them?
Almost fake everything everywhere you turn.
Come on, I mean,
what's wrong with people?
The world is not fake yet. So let's look at how to identify. But see this one, probably, Chimney, I don't know if you've heard about it, or maybe you've been warned about the SIM and NIN linkages. Confusion as telcos alert subscribers to NIN and SIM link irregularities.
Oh boy. Oh dear. Data protection and management. But go to page 15, business page 15, to see more on that. And we'll leave it there for Guardian newspaper. Can imagine if fraudsters get hold of your name and your what?
And
SIM.
Yeah, if they get hold of your SIM and you're not able to,
and your NIN,
it's not linked to your NIN.
So irregularities.
Irregularities. So probably
access your BVN. What else is there? That's your life they got there on their palms. Oh boy, I don't mean to scare anybody anyways. Look at New Telegraph. Interior Minister to NIS. Married women can't travel to Abuja for change of name. Yeah, you heard. Says, practice absurd. Justifies January 8th date for automated passport application process. So even if you forget the day or the date, just stay here. I will remind us of whatever the day is. So you'll hear it even in your dream. So you won't miss that at any time. And then above this list story, there are quite some interesting perspectives here. First of which is Buhari, why I was happy when Tinubu increased petrol pump price. Yeah, that's Buhari speaking. I know you may be thinking, wait a minute, does he know what we're going through with this increase? Maybe you should read the story to understand why was he happy anyways. Because the PIA was in place during his time, the former president, and they suspended implementation of that bit of removal of subsidy. So he then says he was happy when the current president removed it. So you may not need to find out why. And then Edo 2024, Shoaibu apologizes to Oshiomhole, says it's my turn to be governor. This turn by turn Nigeria Limited. This is going on now. So
from the federal to the state.
Somebody's turn now.
Oh boy.
And then I think Southeasterners might be interested in this one. Some of them. Efforts ongoing to release Nnamdi Kanu, ascribed to Kalu. So says Tinubu interested in Southeast development. That's the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. So there you go. There's also some talk about the Japa syndrome on the front page here, but I'd like to let you go ahead and read that one yourself. So there you go. That is it with a look at some of the dailies here this morning. But give us a moment. We will be back.